excellent copy from Oregon. Very nice signal, 59 plus. Thank you very much for the contact. I'm running with 1500 watts and 4 element Yagi, over.
Okay, very good. Well, you're hitting about 15 over 9 right now. Doing a very fine job. I'm running about 1300 watts.
Yeah, roger, roger, very fine. Thank you very much for the contact and hope to see you soon. KI7M, HA0NAR.
73, I think. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, thank you. This is Hotel Alpha Zero, Norway, America Radio, looking for DX, west coast of North America. Who is Bravo, Bravo? Foxtrot, Bravo, Bravo. Okay, also 5
Bye-bye. Put that one only from DX now from North America. Only DX from North America, please. Secure the DX. Sierra Victor, number 2. Obey Japan, Quebec. I will secure DX. I will secure for 50 meters. Sierra Victor, number 2. Hotel Juliet, Quebec. Secure that. Again.
Whiskey, Quebec, 6 Charlie.
From Ontario.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, X-ray Ontario.
Foxtrot Ontario, Roger, Fox Ontario.
Kilo 40, X-ray Oscar, South Dakota, over.
Okay, Roger, good evening from Greece, my friend. My name is Michael, 5x7, Roger.
Fine, business close with your 5959 in the state of South Dakota.
Okay, many thanks for 5x9, 5x7, 5x8 from QSB now. So, ladies, say good luck.
Whiskey, Quebec 6 Charlie, Whiskey, Quebec 6 Charlie. 9 California, 59 California.
This is the CIR Astro 200A transceiver. This transceiver was sold in the 70s, during the late 70s, early 80s maybe. So it's a vintage radio. This radio is extremely rare. You won't see too many of those. C.I.R. was a company that was later acquired by Cubic Swan, and they marketed this radio later as the Astro transceiver, also later versions of it. But this is the very first Astro, like I said, designed by an American company, C.I.R. in California. It is a rare bird. I'll show you a little bit what it can do. This is the Astro 200A HF transceiver, HF ham radio. It was developed and manufactured by C.I.R., a company in California. C.I.R. was later acquired by Cubic Astro, and Cubic sold this radio later under the Swan name as the Swan Astro 200A, and it was followed up by other versions of it, but this was the very first Astro ever made by C.I.R. before they were acquired by Cubic. Now this radio is extremely rare. You're not going to see too many of these. It is a very rare bird, and what's even rarer, this particular one is in mint condition. This thing is literally like new, and you won't see too many of them in this condition. Like I said, it's a ham radio. It has all ham bands, 80 meters, 40, 20, 15 and 10, the pre-WARC bands. It can do a lower sideband, upper sideband, CW, wide and narrow, and it has a heterodyne receiver in it to calibrate the main oscillator at WWV. So that receiver is independent from the synthesizer. Well, I don't have a very good reception with my antenna for that, but that's basically what that's for. There is a noise blanker. You pull it. There is a squelch, of course. This is the meter readings, ALC forward and reverse, so there is a VSWR meter in there. There is no dial tuning. The tuning is either done by the up-down buttons on the microphone, which is parallel to the slow up-down here. Steps go in 100 Hz synthesized step sizes. If I press this, I go through the band much faster. I can get in between the 100 Hz by adjusting the fine. Then there is also a RIT, receiver increment tuning, that only adjusts the receiver without the transmitter being affected. There is a Vox, PTT Vox, as you can see, that works. There is an RF attenuator. There is a dim, bright for the display, and of course there is an on and off. Now the main on and off is on the power supply. This is the power supply that belongs to it. Basically gives off 12 volt by 20 amps, so already you can do 100 watts, which I'll show you later. It has a stand which can be folded in. The inside is extremely professional. It looks like a professional made radio, you know, like the radios that were made in the US for military and the commercial users. This radio is basically a commercial radio that at one point was decided to turn into a ham radio, I guess. Very well made. It is, like I said, fully synthesized. Has an early synthesizer in it, but it only covers the ham bands. It is not general coverage. And the each ham frequency has its own RF input filter. All mixers, receiver mixers, are of the double balanced kind, so it has good large signal handling, and it's very selective from an 8-pole crystal filter. Really a neat radio. Let's have a look what the transmitter can do. For that we will switch to the dummy load, not to bother anybody. And we're now at 21.266. I have here my ham radio, my Yaesu, which we'll set at the same frequency. And then we'll see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Upper sideband. As you see, the radio does 110 watts from the power amplifier that you see here in the back. We can have a look at some other bands. Alright, we're now in the 80 meter bands. You're not going to hear much during the day, only interference. Noise blanket does a pretty good job getting rid of it. Let's go to the dummy load again and see what we get. Gotta set this radio right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same power, 110 watts at the 80 meter band. We are now at 40 meters. We'll again switch to the dummy load and see what we get here. We got our monitor receiver at 7.266. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same power level, 110 watts from the Astro 200A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Modulation sounds very good.
Get it to your liking. November, Quebec 3 mic out.
Okay, we're now on the 20 meter band. Let's see what the transmitter is doing there. Go to the dummy load. And we have our Yezu. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 testing. That works quite well. 20 meters. Okay, we're back on 15 meters.
Yes, you very nice, Mike. You also bombing in East Part Republic of Croatia. Thanks, and the 73. Good luck.
Let's again go to the dummy load and see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 110 watts. Let's go to the 10 meter band. Alright, we're now on the 10 meter band. Let's see what we get there. $110 watts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same power, 110 watts. As you can see, the radio has a perfectly working ALC that keeps it constant at all frequencies. We can see what if there's something to hear on the 10 meter band. For that I'll have to retune the antenna. I got a station. It's pretty dead, the 10 meter band, but it does work. So that's basically it. The CIR Astro 200A vintage transceiver, very rare bird, with the accompanying power supply. And this particular one is like it's new from the factory. Show you the it's a little bit hard to see. There it is. It basically was sold under the Swan name, but it was manufactured by C.I.R. Electronics. Thank you for watching this video.